Hello. How's it been? I know it's been a bit. Mainly because there hasn't been too much news as far as Magic goes. There's been news about other stuff, of course. But I don't really care about that one, so still trying to finagle my way through Pokemon TCG and things like that. Been on Pocket for a while now. It's kind of fun, for sure. I find it hilarious that anyone is like complaining that it's like scammy and microtransaction-y, and it's I mean, Pokemon Go isn't too bad about it, but have you seen any other like online TCG? Do you know what a TCG game is? Like, unless like you and everyone around you are totally fine with literally proxying everything, you're gonna have to pay some money for it. Okay, you don't just exist and get to play the game for free, unfortunately. So it is funny that people are like, oh, it's a scam, they're just taking your money. It's like, well, it's actually kind of cool that they let you play for free, quote unquote. So I don't think that's a terrible thing at all. And then of course you can just pay and get a lot more out of it. As far as like a trading card game, that makes sense. As far as like a game you already pay for, and then they keep putting on microtransaction-y things, and then that's like, okay, well, that's a different story. But apparently, like, the real trading card game for Pokemon, it's just gone bananas. And apparently it's continuing to stay bananas. And so a lot of the financial investment people for Pokemon are like, oh my god, this is crazy, it's insane, you have to pick this up, you have to do this. And then there's people who are like, oh my god, it's just a bubble, just wait, it'll go down, like, chill, and just and it wasn't until today that someone finally said something where, like, man, I thought this forever, but I'm glad they said it, which was that it sucks for people who are just starting to collect, because it's impossible to find products that aren't out, like, scalped already, like scalped up in price, or the singles they want, because those have also risen in price. So just as an example, like, I'm trying to collect every Pikachu, and like, obviously that's going to be a life-term thing with how expensive some stuff is. But the new special art for Pikachu, or illustration, whatever they call it in English, the special one that came out with this new set is like $500. And I'm already looking at my list of cards going, okay, there were a couple of them that were going to cost that if they were damaged, like if I'm lucky enough to get them at that price. But now it's like, oh, the brand new one that comes out, yeah, that one's just going to be another, that's just going to be another $500 on there, like, like, So yes, it sucks. It sucks for people that are starting to collect. Like, I wanted to collect the special illustrations for 151 of Bulbasaur, the Evolutions, Charmander, and Squirtle. But those prices are just, oh my god. Especially when I know they're not that rare. I know they're not. I see them everywhere. Unlike this Pikachu. To be fair, they have highly underprinted this Pikachu. 100%. So, I'm just, scratching my head. But apparently Pokemon does do reprints. Like, they did reprints for 151, which apparently didn't do anything about the price, but they do reprint. So I don't think I'm doomed to stay at the $500 Pikachu forever, but we'll see. And then, of course, people are hyped because the next set after this is an Evolutions. And apparently those just stay cracked no matter what. Like, put Evolutions in something and it will sell. Put Charizard in something, it will sell. Put Pikachu in something, it will sell. Makes sense. But as someone who wants to collect them, it's like, and my wallet's starting to get extremely drained. Especially when my work has been slowing down. It'll pick back up for the holidays. But this is a low time for me. So I'm just gonna live with what I got and be satisfied. And I don't know, wait for the Eevees stuff to come out, which won't come out till next year. The Japanese version of the Eevee stuff will come out, and I already got that pre-ordered from Yuna, so I will get that. But I'll probably wait till I can get it, the English stuff, and then I'll open them together and see the differences. So far that's kind of been my journey. The dream of ripping and shipping is still a dream. Did go to my first card show though. That was cool. I don't know if I've said that or not yet, but that was interesting. And it was a great place to get a lot of the vintage that I needed for sure. Because people just have that line around everywhere. And so now I'm kind of on I've got almost everything from Unlimited base set. And now I'm going to be looking for Shadowless, which is harder. And then I'll be looking for First Edition as well, which, is, I guess, just as hard as Shadowless. And then, because I'm correct, once I get those sets done, I want to look for First Edition Shadowless, which, even a Weedle is going to cost money, so. Ugh. But again, this is not something I'm going to do. This is not something I'm going to do for like a month and quit, obviously. But this is like, hopefully just a thing I'm doing on the side. And it, helps that I work at a card store, so I'll be seeing a lot of cards come through. Hopefully ones I need. And I'm still trying to master set Bloomburrow. So I've got a lot I can get done. But as far as as far as modern stuff goes, I don't know. Eevee stuff, I'll get a box, and that'll be it. Team Rocket, maybe I'll get the, I was going to call it the bundle, the ETBs. But anyway, see, all this stuff is pretty boring, to be fair. this is just what I'm doing, and I don't, whoop-de shit, right? Who cares? But I was kind of, hoping that didn't WotC say they were going to reveal their Commander stuff for Las Vegas? Or did they renege that? Don't know. But as far as I know, the system they were trying to set up is absolute doo-doo. So I'm glad if they're walking that back and gonna, do something else, that's a good thing in my eyes. But yeah, watching some more vendor POVs and stuff, that's also interesting too, which I'm trying to see if my shop will, or convince my boss, who's the owner, if he's gonna go into card shops, shows and stuff like this, because he already vends at cons, which is typical for shops, especially when you do a lot of merchandise. And I'm probably gonna be helping him vend there too, and also hang out with some of my friends that do the artist alleys as well, so that'll be fun. And then maybe the only con thing I'm gonna do is gonna do werewolf. I'm gonna do werewolf all night, Bubba, if they let us. But I totally would if they do. But yeah, the card show was interesting. Lots of I was told that it's going to be a lot of like sports cards there, but I don't know what they're talking about. Like, it was Pokemon and some sports stuff there. Almost everyone was doing Pokemon. A couple of new shops, apparently, people who are just new, like 3 or 4, and then a couple of guys that have been there forever, just like forever. Did some big deals with them, and it was also nice to get good deals on trades for sure. Like, because if I trade them into the shop only takes 50%, or they take 50% and then 60% for trade. So it's like, especially when you have cards that are like over $10. It's like, I don't know if I really want to do that. Lower cards maybe, because I don't know how fast you can sell those on TCG Player. But like, I was much rather just sell higher price stuff on TCG Player and get almost the max amount. But TCG Player is going to take their percentages out and stuff. So that's what I was doing. But then I shut down my shop, and I went there with like, okay, so maybe I'll be able to get some trade, and I traded everything. I think I came back with only 2 cards that no one wanted. So I had a few $100s worth of stuff. So I was like, woo! Very happy to do that. That was awesome. So when I open up some of these modern stuff, I'm gonna probably do the same thing. I'll just keep everything. Honestly, if it's Pokemon, I'm just gonna keep everything. I'm not trading it into the shop. Especially when I know that we have so many singles at the shop. Like, we're overflowing with singles. Like, we're just spitting it out on TCG Player, because that's basically the only place it will sell. And again, like, with the whole hype with Pokemon, I'm with the regulars and saying, like, where the hell is this coming from? Like, why is it so popular right now? And I know I've said this before, but like, my reasoning is because there's just nothing going on with Magic right now. Like, there's nothing for me to look forward to. Maybe the Tarkir, and then again, or Cons, are they calling it? I don't know if they're calling Cons or Tarkir or whatever, but they're going back. And maybe I'll do a pre-release, but I don't plan on buying a box or anything. It's just not exciting to me. The only one I might get excited for is Lorwyn, but they pushed that back a year. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do for years? That's my excuse, and possibly other people too, or like the trading card game I'm currently playing, like even Yu-Gi-Oh! So many people are fed up in Yu-Gi-Oh! So why not go to Pokemon? Granted, unlike Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic, Pokemon is not really like a played card game. It is almost exclusively a collector's game. The pieces just happen to be playable with one another, but it's basically the cards we're trading for. So that's the difference I'm learning, and I'm okay with it. I am a collector. I like collecting, and I like playing, like, playing with people socially. Like, it's not really competitive for me. Winning isn't what I do it for. Like, I'm okay if I lost. The only thing that upsets me when I play is if I know I played bad. Like, if I made a mistake. I don't like making mistakes. So if I made a mistake, I'm like, kicking myself. Or, like, when I used to play, I would purposefully not play the best play. And, then I never won. And I always felt bad. Because, like, the person who did win only won because I didn't play as good as I could have. And I realized that that's not a good feeling. Even though I don't really care about winning, I don't want to make mistakes, and I do want to play as best as I can. And of course, especially with decks like you build yourself, like 100% of this orchestra is you. I can't blame anybody but myself if something doesn't work. But another thing that I kind of had an ideal of, or was basically assuming, and then kind of came to fruition last weekend, which we finally played D&D. Oh my god, And you know what our last session was for D&D? A whole damn year ago. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, it has really been that long since. Yep. Because instead of playing D&D, we were playing Magic. And for the last few months, we had to call it off for summer because a lot of us are busy during the summer. So I finally played D&D. It's been a whole year. We finally got to play. And we're trying to remember where we were, what we're doing. We're on like a meteorite in space. It's really cool, actually. I hope we continue to play this campaign. But I can totally play a new campaign each time. Again, I just love playing it with people. I love the social part. And for anyone interested, I'm playing a gem, dragonborn, atheist, amethyst, and but she's extremely short, and she's a bard of creation, and she has this barrel named Stavy Jones, who's a murderous psychopath. Like, Stavy craves blood. It's great. It's a great little campaign we got going. But when we got done playing, we played some Magic, and my suspicions were kind of proved, where so much stuff is happening. Like, everyone has triggers off everything, and like, again, I'm just trying to play correctly. I'm trying to, like, if someone does something, I'm like, hey, you have a trigger there. Or, oh, make sure you do this. Oh, if you do it, I don't mean to be rules lawyer or anything. And sometimes I sit back and just watch. But so many things happened. And I totally understand everyone there was like I'm having a hard time following stuff. And it was like turn 4. Like, it was not that late in the game, and no one had anything like ridiculous out yet, but we just all had little things that procced off one another. And I don't know, like, as Commander itself is supposed to be a casual format. Cool, great, awesome. I like that and I agree with that. However, it's hard to play Commander if you're not 100% focused on it. Like, before, you could just play a couple of things, play some spells, you could talk with some people, you could hang out and chill and play Commander. Now it's like, in order for you to follow along, in order for you to play correctly, you have to be 100% focused on everything that's going on all the time. And it just drags the game down for me. Like, honestly, okay, if people are there to play and be focused, I can be there and be focused and be along with it, like, just be right there with everybody. But, like I said, most people play casually. They're not there to, like, this is the only thing they're going to think about. They're going to talk, they're going to laugh, they're going to have side conversations, they're going to have jokes, they're going to be silly. And when you're trying to, like, relax and play this game, you can't really anymore. There's just too much shit going on. Oops, sorry about that. So, the people that we're playing with don't play very much, and they're like, man, this is really exhausting. I'm like, I don't blame you guys. Like, I don't get to play very much, because when I'm at the store, I like to work. I'm being paid to work, so I don't want to sit there and play games all the time. But when I'm there not working, the very few times, it's like, so much is going. Like, I refuse to play games that have more than 4 people. And I don't mean to be like the Rupert, like, if there's 5 of us, I will happily step out. You guys have a 4-player game, enjoy yourself. I'm not going to feel bad at all. Unless I had, like, pre-planned this with someone, then I might be a little salty. But I will not play with more than 5 people. I technically did last week, but that's because we had 3 new people. 2 of us knew how to play, 3 of them, well, to be fair, okay, 3 of us knew how to play, 2 of them didn't. So, it was extremely long because of that, for sure. It was because we're the only people there, And I think some of them were playing because they knew I liked to play. But anyway, that was a special case, I would have said yes regardless. But like at the store, no, no. 4 or less. I mean, 3 is okay. I kind of don't like 3. I like 4 is like the perfect number. You know, start off with 4. If it goes, you know, if someone gets knocked out right away, that's fine. But yeah, 3 or 4. And I don't mind one-on-one either. I don't mind one-on-one. I don't like one-on-one as much, but I don't mind one-on-one. So yeah, 4 or less. I will never, ever do 5+ ever again. No. For some reason, that one extra person adds an hour to the game. Again, I don't care if you get to turn 3. It takes another damn hour to get through it. So I don't want to do it. Sorry. I don't want to play that extra hour. I would rather play another game for that hour. Or look through cards, or hang out, or, you know. I don't want to do that. And that's just because of how complicated the damn game is becoming. And when everything gets ramped up, and then everything procs off something else, and it's just, I still love the game. I do. And I do want to play the game. It's just becoming more and more frustrating. So that, on top of no new sets that I really like that are coming out, it's just like, Magic to me is just on the back burner. And I feel kind of bad because, you know, some people at the shop are hype and they want to talk about the cards, and I'm just like, I don't know them. This is, you know, I have peaks and valleys when it comes to Magic, and this is going to be a year-long valley. I'm just going to be collecting Bloomburrow on the side, and that's about it when it comes to Magic, honestly. I know there are some cards, like, in this set that I could upgrade my decks with, but what I've found out is, like, I don't really care about doing that until I get back into playing, like, hardcore. And when I do that, then I'll look at all the previous sets that I've missed. I will pick out all the cards. I will probably buy them on TCG Player or from the store all at once. And then I'll have fun making the deck and doing the thing I wanted to do, than trying to keep up with it when I have no interest in it whatsoever. Which is another interesting thing. I've been going through my Peterson Academy, what do you call it? Lectures. And the last one talked a little bit about how you can't force inspiration, which is very interesting. You can't force yourself to be interested. You could feign interest. You can pretend to be interested. You can be really good at pretending to be interested in something. Everyone knows those kinds of situations, right? Someone just walks up to you and you're just like, I know. Whatever's going to happen is going to be the next 10 minutes of me just going, yeah, wow, okay, yep, whoa. It's terrible, but it's so true. You cannot force yourself to be interested in something. And I find that kind of fascinating, that interest is something that has to be like in your your unconscious, and it kind of has to come out of something. Like, it's so weird, but it is a very abstract thing for sure. So when I have no interest in Magic, I can't force it. I really can't. And I know that's kind of, with me, that's a huge thing. Like, Pokemon's my thing right now, but guaranteed, in a couple months, that might change. Maybe I'll just, put my collecting on the back burner, you know? But so I thought that was interesting for sure. And so, yeah, that's my reasoning for getting into Pokemon. But I don't know why it seems like millions of other people are just getting into it all of a sudden. I don't know if it's something in the air, something in our vibrations. The vibe is just like Pokemon cards. I don't know. And I don't know if I like that more people are interested, because then, I can talk to more people about it, for sure. But I'm just not a fan of the price ups and everything. It's like, especially when I don't have as much work. I can't afford it. So yeah, that's just my life right now. I do plan on doing an opening. I've got quite a few things coming in. And I don't know if I'm going to open tomorrow, possibly, or next week. Because I'm waiting on stuff in the mail. However, I could wait on the stuff that's coming in the mail and do just another, like, mini one. Or maybe I'll open today. I don't have, like, a buttload of stuff. And I will have more stuff coming in, I think, tomorrow. Yeah, that's why. I don't know. But I'm going to do another opening stream. It's just fun. I just enjoy it for sure. Yeah. See what I get for my Surging Sparks luck. Hey, maybe I'll pull a Pikachu. And then I'll sit there and have the existential crisis of, like, do I sell it or keep it? Do I sell it or keep it? Do I sell it or keep it? Do I put it in for grading and then sell? I mean, if grading didn't, like, take 3 months, I'd consider it. But especially with more people getting into it, I can only assume it's going to be, like, forever. And, like, we had a guy send in a card to be graded when Bloomborough came out. Granted, that wasn't, like, super long ago. But he still hasn't seen it, so it's like, And, like, who knows what the price is going to be in a couple months, you know? Maybe no one's going to want that Pikachu, and I don't want it graded. Like, I don't have a place to have graded cards. I'm not there yet in my collection. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it'll be fun. I know I'll enjoy myself for sure. But, yeah, I mean, until Magic has something going on, or something absolutely nuts happens to Pokemon or something, I don't know. Maybe I'll make more just thoughts and ideas posts like this one. Again, it helps me keep stay awake when I'm driving, and lets me get out some of my thoughts for sure. Because although, like, I do talk to people a lot at the store, it's kind of like whatever the person wants to talk about, not necessarily what I want to talk about, which is fine. I'm actually way more introverted than what I think I let people believe, quote unquote. Like, I'd be fine being in my house for like a month and then maybe leaving once or twice, like, and of course I say that without knowing specifically, but I feel like a lot of people are like that, though, honestly. Like, there are only, as far as I know, there are very few people I know that, like, need other people around them. They need to be with other people. Otherwise, most people are totally fine, like, chilling, doing what they want to do on their PCs or phone or at home, and then occasionally have people over or go hang out with others. Like, so I think that's just the general vibe with most people. So I'd consider myself most people. Yeah. Not a special buttercup. Not here. And I'm A-okay with that for sure. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'll probably either stream tomorrow maybe again, or next week. I'll see. You know, shrug. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching, y'all. Have a good one.